I forgot I put on my stickies.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world, and that's our job.
What up, DMV? Been getting money whole time, fucking bitches whole time, rapping DC whole time. Been getting money whole time, fucking bitches whole time, rapping DC whole time. Whole time, whole time, doing this whole time, whole time, whole time, doing this whole time, whole time, whole time, doing this whole time, man, you're back, whole time, doing this whole time.
Like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing.
Welcome to a Pod Named Kickback. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing. And we're not the black CNN no more. I don't know what the hell we are now. We something else.
Something else.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah, we figure it out. But the revolution still will be televised. If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, I am no breaks new, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I'll catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. Every Monday. It ain't Monday no more either.
No.
Wednesday?
It's given Wednesday.
It's given Wednesday. The Wednesday, Thursday combined would be Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We're gonna keep working.
We're Sister Day. We right back at it. I am the Black Savage, the Magneto of my people. Say Lou.
Hey, man, I like it.
All right. You gonna introduce yourself?
Straight to the point, J. Lou.
I was gonna.
You gonna introduce? Oh,
let's just a brief little introduction.
You famous.
Yeah, exactly. We have a familiar face here with us. I think you've done this is be your third time doing the podcast because we did one together. We did one with DeAndre, and we're bringing you back. You haven't been here since before the pandemic, right?
I have not. This is definitely post-pandemic.
Damn. So it's been all 3 years since we've seen each other?
It has.
How you been?
I've been good.
You look good.
I tried. Thank you.
This is Brittani Sade, the corporate black girl, if you didn't know. Anything you want to tell them about yourself?
I am Brittani Sade, the corporate black girl. As you just said, I am a trust and financial advisor by day, and I trick people into believing in themselves by night.
Ooh, that sounds like she'd be faking orgasms.
Oh, did you trick people?
Into believing in themselves, yes.
How do you do that? Tell me more.
Well, I'm a connector. We're like the professional plug, as people like to call me. So I make sure that I provide resources, words of affirmations, as well as connect people to be able to kind of regain their confidence and do whatever it is that they want to do. Because nothing's impossible. However, you can't do it yourself. So I'm just out here to bring those resources and connections.
I like it. So, well, shout out to our sponsors. Mo's Marvelous Cleaning. She comes through and cleans up for me. Gets the place looking nice and right. If make a woman live here. Shout out to her. Hit her up. Use code Kickback because you will get 10% off for your cleaning, whether it's your apartment, your house, or your business. MySexRoom.net, another one of our sponsors. Ladies, we know the rose is all the rave now. You know, the wand, all the rave now.
The wand?
Yeah.
There's a wand now?
There's a wand. Well, really, the wand that I'm speaking of is more like a massager, but it's called the wand. Okay. But there is a wand that we call the Tinkerbell. I have to tell you the story.
Okay.
My birthday a couple of years ago, I had a, what can I call this? I had a freak party, I guess you would say. And we discovered this.
Like an orgy?
No, well, not quite an orgy.
Oh.
It was
when I heard freak and party, I'm like,
well, it was a play party. So it is kind of like that. It's a play party, and MySexRoom.net provided the toys, and there were demonstrations.
Oh,
And we
Like-
found out.
I'm sorry. I'm so curious. When you say demonstrations, like
Mhm.
live
Yeah,
demonstrations.
live demonstrations. Live demonstrations.
Oh.
And there was one that looked like what you might call like a magic wand, like in my homegirl called it the Tinkerbell wand.
I know
Because
that's
it's like a little wand, but apparently the vibe is powerful.
Mm.
And when we left that event, everybody was like, I want that little wand. So when you said wand, I don't know if you meant the little Tinkerbell one or what I was referring to, which is looks like a back massager.
Like,
Oh,
gun, though.
No, I'm talking about the bippity boppity boo.
Yeah, that's the one that everybody went crazy over.
Interesting.
We just called it the Tinkerbell. Well, somebody named it that. We just stuck with the name.
I love it.
But you can go to mysexroom.net, use code kickbackers and get 10% off. So you can get you the rose, the wand, and the head lingerie.
Ooh.
So hit up mysexroom.net, use code kickbackers. And for all your insurance needs, home and auto, holler at myself, life insurance, holler at J. Lou. You know how we do. And for your financial services, you need to get at Brittani Sade.
Hello.
So having said that, let's see. Actually, let's see where we at.
Now, high low. Who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first? Hello.
I guess I'll do it. So I've done. You.
My man.
Hello. It was a good week. I got into the gym a couple times this week.
You did tell me that.
First time in a couple weeks, so that was good. I was procrastinating for a while, so I had to check myself, put it on the calendar.
Mhm.
Kind of go with that. Business, I had a couple people, a couple insurance policies, get through underwriting, so that's always a good thing.
Oh, excuse me, always.
Yeah, couple children policies, like IUL policies, so that was good. Kind of build some cash value for them. Low. I'm on a mission to get certain stuff paid off by the end of the year. It's still progress, but it ain't done yet. So I'll put it as a low until I can check it off. I'm the type that I need to be able to check it off. So I can't check it off until it's done. So I guess that'd be the low. But
Okay.
it's a plan in place to get it taken care of. So
it's going to be a high.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually. I love it.
So you get the format of how low?
Yeah. So
Would you like to go next?
Sure.
Okay.
So my high, well, let's start with the low. I like to end on a good note.
All right.
So far, my low would be, I don't know if this is appropriate, but
Everything's appropriate here. You sit next to the righteous ratchet.
let's start with the high because it's actually hard for me to think of a low, as cliche as that sounds.
No, we always celebrate when someone can't think of a low. That's a good ass week here in the middle of.
Yeah, like I can't think of it. But a high would definitely be like I'm working out. I also secured like a $27 million account, and then afterwards it was a $21 million account.
Damn.
So as far as like
single?
business and things of that nature, well, it's not my money, but
It sounds like you can get part of it, wifey.
so as far as trust accounts, I'm not even sure if I should be saying that, but I didn't give any specifics. But so as far as business goes, that was kind of my high as far as what's going on right now, and just feeling like, as far as I've been in the business for 10 years now, and it didn't dawn on me until like these attorneys or different settlement planners have been specifically requesting me to be the trust advisor on the accounts. And that, it just feels good to have your work appreciated and to know that clients and our partners find good in what I do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Damn, that was a good high. What was your inappropriate low? I want to know now.
No, it wasn't necessarily like inappropriate, but I was just going to do the normal, like, I'm just trying to figure out how to make some more money. But I feel like I'm always doing that. So I didn't know if that was a good one.
Okay, no problem, no worries. My low of the week has just been this month. And I don't mean in every way. I'm in sales. I think, we all in sales pretty much. It's been a low sales month. I won't say the company's name, but the company that I work through had some pretty significant price hikes. And I think they might have priced us out of damn Georgia.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of adjusting to that. So that was my low, is that we're the last week of the month, and I'm like, it ain't looking as pretty as Brittany right now. I'm like, yeah, man, looking kind of like me. But that's cool. I ain't tripping. My high was the crew was having a getaway for one of the guys' birthday. So we're gonna, go to the mountains and do what you do in the mountains and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't gonna go because if it was a lot of reasons I wasn't gonna go.
What you do in the mountains?
What do I do in the mountains?
Nah, you said what you do in the mountains.
I mean, you mount stuff.
Wait.
You mount a 10. Hopefully you got a 10 with you. You mount 10.
Oh.
And I have that. Hold up.
Yeah, I got that.
I have that sound.
I feel like mine was better.
Jab. That must have been a white drummer.
Yeah.
That's one season.
Right. They put some raisins in those drums. Keep the raisins out the drums, everybody.
Please.
My high was, I was thinking about not going. The first thing they tried to do was I had a room. We all had our own rooms, whatever. And then I almost forgotten about it. And then they came back to me and was like, yeah, so we got everything planned. We're wilding out, we're bringing some other people, so the rooms are gonna be a little bit different. You and JB gonna share a room. And I was like, in the mountains?
I'm trying to mount.
He ain't even a 10. What the fuck? What you talking about? And so I'm gonna go and then that got cleared up, and so now I'm gonna go and mount 10.
Wow.
Fair enough.
But my high was that something you always get on me about, like do something for yourself, take time for yourself. Exactly. So I was like, I had a fucked up month. I'm just gonna chill. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna work and And then I heard your damn voice in my ear, like, you gotta do something for yourself. Make sure you take time for yourself. Pay yourself. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking go. I'm gonna go. You know what I'm gonna do?
I'm waiting.
No, 10. Oh no, this is gonna be a real chill, relaxing weekend. I'll put it this way: it's gonna be a psychedelic weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's in the state. It's about an hour, 15 minutes away. I'll have to show it to you.
He can't say it because he don't want nobody to pull up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because then I have to mount 20.
I didn't been to the mountains.
You done been to the mountaintop? My eyes are seeing.
It's always good in the mountains.
The mountaintop.
It ain't nothing else to do.
Yeah. But this place, we play disc golf. You know what disc golf is? No. So it is golf, but with the frisbee. And you throw it, instead of putting it into a hole, you throw it into a basket. So you still have 400 yards or 300 yards. So you'll throw it once. That's your first shot. You throw it again. You throw it until you get right to the basket. Then, of course, or if you're good, you 50 feet away, 50 yards away, and you throw it and it'll go in the basket. It's the same principle as golf, except basket and a disc.
Okay.
And our resort has a disc golf course on it. And this is a game we play.
Oh, y'all going to a resort, so y'all ain't going to a home.
It's an Airbnb.
So who's y'all?
Me, the crew, JB is going, me, Jeremy, and F. And some tennis.
Significant enough.
I know that's right.
Basically just people who's not real athletic. That's what it is.
Don't be hating on.
Because I'm like, as many sports as I've played and watched, never heard of it.
If you've never gotten picked for basketball or football, it's like
that's what you get into.
It's like we gotta find something to do.
Really?
That's exactly what it is.
One, I did play basketball, and I was on the team, but as a general rule, my name is New Halfman. I don't play sports, I play women. That's just, oops. I mean, no. Bad new. I'll just move on, next topic.
Okay, yeah.
But this golf is fun. And we can bring you out to the course.
You're playing frisbee. So
it sounds that way.
You're in
basically playing frisbee.
You're at a park, so there's trees and creeks and ravines.
Any justice right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you trying to paint the picture doesn't really make it better.
It's
Still
it's
is what
free
it is.
for everybody who didn't get picked for the football and basketball team.
Seems that way.
Okay. That's bad. So anyway,
My left stroke just went viral.
our viral story of the week. Britney's prom date, Kanye West, is in the news again. Was he always this way?
Yeah.
The whole time y'all were together?
I think it kind of like took a turn. I think the pandemic, much like it got to everyone else. But I'm not gonna lie, I am pretty sure I have an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
As it relates to you said it was my old prom date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll set this up and then I want to hear your unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Because apparently my opinion was very unpopular. The argument, but that's how I get the material for that. Now I know what to say. I done practiced it all week.
That's funny.
Literally, because I need to know every argument so I know how to present it on the pod. So Kanye, yay. He's done a few things. If you follow this show, this show's been around 10 years. When we first started it, the Don't Be Dumb Award was actually called the Kanye West Shut Up Stupid Award. And that was 10 years ago. So that lets you know how I feel about Kanye. Anytime anyone says something stupid in the news or in media, they would basically named after him. The award christened for him. So that tells you how I feel about Kanye. Okay. Now, having said that, he went on Drink Champs and he made some inflammatory remarks, lies. He told some lies about the murder of George Floyd. He did the White Lives Matter t-shirt, which I thought was totally disrespectful to Black people. And what I say is, I'm not a fan of the Black Lives Matter organization. When they first popped up, I did what anybody should have done. I went to their website. And on their website, they said, no, we are in support of the LGBTQIA communities, Black women, and people of, also people of color, but and Black people, and we're standing for justice and this. And I read that and I said, I don't feel represented. You didn't say straight Black men. I think it said gay Black men or whatever. And I was like, what about straight Black men? And I was like, I'm tired of this exclusion. I know the whole Me Too movement came and went, and we have all, not all of us, but I know I have reconciled with some of my ways from my youth that I didn't think was bad. But in 2020, 2019, 18, it was brought to my attention. No, nigga, that was bad. You thought that shit was cool? Well, let us tell you. And I think I was one of the first Black men to do total podcast episodes on understanding the Me Too movement. I had some young women, my lady friends. One perfect example of this was they showed me what it's like for a woman to walk into a club. And so what they did was they stood on either side of the room and had me walk from the door to like the table. And as I'm walking, they grabbing on me, pulling on me, grab my dick. Like they really like, this is what we go through. Just to walk into a fucking club. And you don't think the Me Too movement is necessary? And I was like, I'm stupid, sorry. Yes, you're right. And I'm in full support. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So having gone through that, Kanye's comments on George Floyd were insensitive. The White Lives Matter comments, shirt was insensitive and inflammatory, disrespectful. But I don't fuck with the organization. So people always want to say, well, they stole the money. I don't like them anyway. They don't represent straight Black men. So you're not, these Kanye West fans always think they're telling you something deep. Like, they stole the money. Yes. So how you feel about them? I never liked them. Glad you welcome to the party of not liking that movement. I love the slogan. I stand on the slogan. The movement, I never trusted them. In my Tony Montana, I never liked them. Never trusted them. So don't hit me with that. And then they wanted his anti-Semitic remarks, or his quote unquote anti-Semitic remarks. I'm not even sure that they were really anti-Semitic. But for the sake of argument, his anti-Semitic remarks, I'm just going to be honest. When I heard Kanye make those remarks about Jewish people, I stood up. I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm not Jewish. I don't give a fuck what you say about them. I care about Black people and Black people only. I give a fuck what he said about them. But I knew at that exact moment they gonna fuck him up. What's that movie? Poetic Justice, when Janet Jackson was like, "We get back at home, I'm gonna call Pookie and Monster, and they gonna fuck you up. They gonna fuck you up." And when I heard Kanye say that shit, I was like, "They gonna fuck you up." And but I didn't give a fuck about. I don't want to say give a fuck about them, but I'll say it in a nicer way. I love my people, and I don't really love anyone else. I guess.
Ouch.
I'm my people, man. My name is now Tariq Newman. And my name is not Amerigo Vespucci. Cancel me. I ain't got nothing. What you gonna do? Take my unk? You can have the unk. But anyway, so I didn't care what he said about anybody, except the shit that he said to hurt black people. And but I knew he was gonna get canceled, and I expected it. And I came up under Farrakhan. I saw what the ADO did to Farrakhan. I saw what they did to Khalid Muhammad. I saw what they tried to do to Ice Cube. A couple of years ago, they tried to get Jay-Z. So I've seen this. They're like, you see what the Jewish people are doing to Kanye? And I'm like, well, it's what we should have done to him when he said White Lives Matter. If we stuck up for ourselves, then we would do the same thing. We should have did that when he said slavery was a choice. Y'all niggas still buying nigga music. I left him alone. I ain't fuck with Kanye. Like I said, 10 years ago, the most disrespectful thing I do on the show was to set up Stupid Award, and it was named after him. That was just total disrespect from me to him. So that's my take. I spent all week defending my take.
I love it.
Online with strangers and friends. And now some former friends. They canceled me. But it's because sometimes I debate so aggressively. I don't mean it that way.
You do though. I'm like, you gotta relax. You know, we come from the inner city, so like certain stuff, those are like fighting words. I'm like, oh, you gonna do something when you say them? Because I'm like, look, if you ain't gonna do nothing when you say you, look, we can't say everything.
Yeah, and I be trying to clean it up. Or somebody, you know what I like those? One day a dude was like, "Damn, dog." I was like, "Damn, dog, what?" Like that was kind of fucked up. And I was like, "What, nigga? You're plumb stupid." But I would never talk to you like that. Why you talking to me like that? And I was like, "Shit, yeah, you're right. You are right.
Black man, man.
You're right." And then one thing I could say was like, "You're right. That was a little harsh. That was my bad."
I'm glad you acknowledge that.
Yeah,
man.
I was about to say,
That's
it's all
big,
about
man.
self-awareness.
If you tell me, I'm gonna listen.
Yeah.
But you just gotta catch me when I'm not in the middle of a rant. I'm like, "Nigga, that was fucked up what you said." Sorry. You're right. I did.
So we just gotta wait until you're finished.
Yeah, because in the middle of the rant, I'm like, "Well, you was fucked up with Kanye did." You know, I'm like, but that's how I view the situation. I think I set it up properly. What were you guys' thoughts on the situation? And did I leave anything out that needs to be? Well, everybody knows he's canceled. Everybody's canceling him. He does all his business deals. I do have a take on. I'll let you guys go before I come back to that. That's later.
A take on what? As it relates to him?
As it relates to what's happening to him.
Okay.
And what some people think is happening for him.
Oh, about him getting out of those deals?
Yeah, but I have my ubiquitous clandestine informers have told me that this whole notion that he did this to get out of the deal, it's just no.
So I do believe that. Well, let me first say that as much as I love my people, Black people, I still do give a care. I still do give a fuck about other people. Just my disclaimer. But as far as Kanye is concerned,
y'all leave me understand about myself.
I have a couple of points. Like I can stand for my people and still love like everybody. You know what I'm saying? But either way, as far as my unpopular opinion is concerned, as I would like to call it, one thing as far as like Kanye, I do feel like he has made some very, very off the wall comments, and everything that he has said, I have not agreed with. However, has he also said things that do make sense that people should start kind of paying attention to? I do believe that. I feel like we tend to be extremists. So it's like once a person says something that turns us off, it doesn't matter like what they say. Like we just find ourselves like not being able to agree with them. So I would say like I can not necessarily be a super fan of Kanye, but still be able to acknowledge when he makes sense and when he doesn't.
Absolutely. A lot of his, just interjecting really quick, a lot of his comments that he made about, I guess what he's calling the Jewish media, I've seen them do what he said. We're seeing them do it now.
Yeah.
But it was like, when he said that, I was just like, duh. He didn't say anything mind-blowing. Like, I've watched them do that to my heroes for 30-something years.
Yeah, but he may not have said anything that's mind-blowing to you, but he did open people's eyes. And so, like, kind of my point to that is that I do believe that he did make those statements because he was trying to get out of those deals. They would not let him out of those deals. And I also believe that Kanye is kind of like, I mean, first of all, he's a Gemini. So think about Trump. Think about Geminis. Like once you kind of sort of don't give them what they want, they're going to air this bitch out. And so essentially what Kanye did was he exposed. Yeah. So what he did was in making sure that he would get out of these contracts, he also made sure to also expose the fact that I don't think a lot of Black people understand that there's no real like infrastructure or ownership at a certain level for Black people as far as financial institutions, as far as like from what he did and the consequence, and now especially with social media. So you may have learned things because like, you know, certain generations kind of look up stuff like we just had to be in the know and watch the news. The now generation is looking at social media. And so I feel like he was able to really expose like there's really no control. Kanye is a genius. And so he is, yes, he is.
But
He
what's
is a
strange?
genius.
A genius at what?
He's very smart. Now, he may be off the wall. I may not agree with him, but that doesn't take away from his creative genius, him being smart and having awareness. And anyone who knows contracts, you deal with contracts. What happens when you breach a contract? People are going to let you go. But he also wanted to make sure when he did so, he let people know like, hey, this is what's really going on. And look at what happened from him saying something. And I know that, oh my gosh, what is her name? Because I actually follow her on Twitter and I love her. No.
Thank God you don't love her.
Not Candace Owens, but she made a viral tweet that said, I wish anti-Black held this much weight. And it was one of the
Scotty Bean.
Yes, and I actually love her. I've been following her for a long time.
too.
But she did make that statement. And so little do you know, he brought awareness to that too. You say one thing about another, you know, ethnicity or a different type of culture, and they're ready to release him. He did the whole, you know, anti-Black thing that didn't, regardless of whether he believes in that or not, that didn't work. They didn't release him for that. So it's like Kanye knows what he needed to do. He also understood that, okay, no, he's not going to be a billionaire anymore. That's all right. He's still creative and he's still at the end of the day a Black man. So we may not necessarily agree with him. We didn't agree with Tommy Hilfiger when he said he didn't make his clothes for Black people.
He never said that I was a rumor. He never said it. I was alive and doing shit at the time. He didn't say that.
Okay. Okay.
Well, he didn't.
Oh, that was a rumor. Okay. Well, either way, you know, I feel like with these different brands and stores and how like we're treated, we don't cut them off for seemingly, you know, going against or being anti-Black. So
I give
why would
pushback
we
to that because
do that to our own people?
We do. The people I know do. You mean like the Black race in general?
Of course, we're talking in general.
I guess. Well, the Black race ain't canceled Kanye either.
And
I'm like one of the only people that's talking this fuck Kanye shit.
He's still listen. This you said you love your people, and so I love my people much like family.
What's it? All skin folk and kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? Like I love my people as it pertains to, you know, a general overarching theme, and as it pertains to my particular tribe. If you go against my tribe, you go against my people as an overarching theme, then you're on the outside. I don't fuck with Candace Owens. She can't get over here. I don't fuck with Condoleezza Rice. She can't get over here.
Yeah, okay, but would you rather put money in a secret racist pocket, or would you rather put money into another Black man's pocket who may or may not have the same views? But like Kanye is not anti-Black. And another thing too that I feel like
you said that with a lot of conviction. So we have a difference of opinion because I do think he's anti-black.
I don't think he's anti-black. I think that Kanye has a very hard time critically like articulating himself. I feel like what he means is not always like what he says. Like I feel like if I were to sit down and have a conversation with Kanye and he said something and I were to be like, okay, wait, so are you saying, he would probably be like, yeah. So I do feel like a lot of times he is definitely the type of person of where what he's saying and what he's intending to like get across is not necessarily what's happening, because with his whole thing, like slavery is a choice, right? I'm like, absolutely do not condone that comment. I was like, wow, why would he say that? But by the same token, before Africans, were slaves, they tried to make Indian slaves, and then Indians were not going. They were willing to die behind it. Now, there are so many other things that have to do with it. So I'm not saying that his comment is real and true.
Yeah,
but I feel like with the revolutions, like we can go back and Nat Turner, he tried to teach, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just certain levels. Now we can definitely get into the breakdown of how consciously they,
I'm gonna get to a couple comments real quick.
Oh, we have
Brady
comments?
said that everything that Kanye said about the Jews is coming true to him now. We're watching it happen.
Yeah.
And Kanye was putting money in other white men's pockets before his own pockets, being pressed to be involved with all of the expensive designers. And that's kind of my point with Kanye. It's like, because you have Tyler Perry own distribution, Master P had a distribution deal, Jay-Z and Roc Nation distribution deal. Kanye didn't want distribution. He wanted to be a part of that circle. He wanted to be with Anna Wintour. He wanted to be with the Balenciaga dude. He wanted to be with them. He didn't go, I'm gonna make these, wanted to be with Adidas. I'm gonna make these designs, you just distribute them for me.
You don't know, Sway.
Yeah. You ain't got the answer, Sway.
You know why?
But the point, well, let's talk about what he did and what he didn't do.
Okay.
He didn't build businesses with his money. He wanted to be in line with the very people he's accusing of doing all this wrong to him, which was weird to me. Like, I've never seen a black person want so much white acceptance. He wanted to be, I didn't get a Grammy from you guys. I didn't get this from you guys. You won't let me. You ain't got the answer, Sway. I want to be with Ralph Lauren. He was so pressed to be with them. And then he got there and found out, I know what he thought it was going to be. And the deals he signed slave deals. He signed nigger deals. That's why he's so upset. When Jay-Z doing this shit with Bacardi, there are 50-50 partners in Dusse.
And okay, we're gonna get to that point, because what did Jay-Z have to turn around and do because of the lack of transparency?
Right.
So
But he had the ability to do that. Kanye does not, because he signed the
deal to be in the room.
He doesn't even own his designs.
Well,
all the shit he designed for Adidas owns. And they're in the process of trying to take the name. He cannot use the name Yeezy right now. Maybe he can get it back. He still got money, so maybe his lawyers will be able to fight their lawyers, and he can get the use of his name back. But he was signing dummy deals, and it's like, no, he's a genius. Why he signing those stupid ass deals?
I feel like he wanted to be in the room, and I feel like we have to take a step back. Now, this is me talking in general. I don't know we can sit here and try to figure out what Kanye's reasoning behind whatever he did was. I don't know. I'm not in that man's head. And I'm not saying that I agree with everything that he's saying, but what I am saying is that there are certain things that you can learn.
Right.
Yes, by being in the room and being a part of, you understand the conversations that he's having. That's how he's able to add that exposure. You know what I'm saying? To let people know what's actually going on. Being in partnership, you're not a part of these boardroom conversations. Just like with your companies, you have leadership. You're not a part of that conversation. You don't know what's going on. So at the end of the day, regardless of his reasoning, he was still able to sit at the table and hear and be involved.
But he wasn't. That was the issue. That's what his complaint was. He was not able to sit at the table. That's his beef. When he started talking about I'm leaving Gap, it was because he couldn't sit at the table. His issue with Adidas with Nike was he couldn't sit at the table. Yeah, he has never been at any of these tables. That's his issue. I
feel like he's been able to sit at the tables, but he hasn't been able to be as involved as he wants to be or get the recognition Kanye is about the recognition. It's not about him not being able to sit at the table, because if he was never at the table, he wouldn't even know that he's not getting whatever he deserves.
What his complaint was, I basically have no power. I can't make any decisions, and this is my shit. So basically, I'm just a figurehead.
Well, yeah,
and he's pissed about it. But
it's majority. Everything's still a vote.
But he didn't have a vote. The point is, he couldn't vote. If he had one vote and he lost, it would be different. He couldn't vote is the issue. Jay-Z can vote. Tyler Perry is the ultimate boss. I mean, he's not under anybody.
Right.
Russell Simmons.
Sue you for transfer.
Yeah. The issue is when they don't tell Kanye what's going on, all he can say is they're treating me bad in the Jewish media. When they don't tell Jay-Z what's going on, he sues them. Kanye can't sue Adidas for not telling them what's going on. He couldn't sue Gap because they weren't taking his ideas seriously. I don't talk to people broken than me because
we gonna see.
Yeah, how do we know he couldn't?
Because he talked about it on Piers Morgan, and because I'm getting on my shit this week because I wanted to really air his ass out. I can
tell this is very important to you.
Yeah, okay, but I forgot Brittany got her little BB gun. She just be shooting some guys.
I mean, come on, you forgot. It's okay. It's been a while.
But he didn't have that power, which is his ultimate issue. That's why he was so angry. That's why he's so frustrated. That's why he went out of the partnerships. He didn't want out of the partnerships because I feel like doing my own thing. Yeah. He's like, I don't have no power.
Yeah,
it's a Yeezy shoe, right? Easy shoe, easy. I ain't got no power. And I'm like, why'd you sign that deal?
This is what I would say about the whole situation. Right?
Yeah,
because I'm ridiculously torn. I feel like a lot of what he said was true. I think his reasoning was true. I looked at the drink transfer. A lot of it, what he said was about jealousy. About he feels jealous about how the Jewish,
that part he saw from Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle said the same thing about gay people. Yeah, I'm jealous because of gay people, and I agree with that. He was right with that.
I agree with that. My issue is when you wasn't on my team with other stuff. How can I get to the point where I care about someone? I care about you on the other side. So I'm torn. Like I feel like he can say a lot of honest things, but because he wasn't riding with me on other issues.
George Floyd, White Lives Matter, slavery being a choice.
Yeah.
And all those things that you and I guess the way he disagreed is what got me.
Yeah.
I identify with straight white men.
Yeah.
I don't identify with anybody else but them.
He went on a real long tangent about how white men suffer so much. And I guess my issue is I'm like, look, you can say something right, but because you do so wrong, people won't come back to
and that's what I said. Yeah.
I think what's happening now is like you said, a lot of what he said is true. But when you alienate so many different people, he alienated everybody that should have been on his side. This is not the same Kanye that came out college dropout. That's a different Kanye. My thing is this: look, you're not getting that support now because the thing is the people that you need to support you didn't choose to support.
Not even that needed. The people that were supporting him, the reason why he became who he is.
The only people that are supporting Kanye right now is old conservatives, old black conservatives.
It's a bunch of white people, that whole neo-Nazi movement, the MAGA movement, the good old boys, all that shit.
I mean,
because he's talking their language.
Yeah.
They don't like Jewish people. He's talking their language. He's speaking to conservative white America. He don't run for president.
There's a lot of things that he has said that I do not agree with.
Conservative white America is loving him.
And I guess that's what I'm torn. Like as a, because I look at myself as somebody who can see both sides of it, right? Mm-hmm. So I can see the positives and the negatives. But if you're so negative on certain sides, should I care to fight for you now? When I know you have some truth in what you say.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the thing with me that was killing me when I was doing all my online arguing, is they're like, they made it so the only thing that mattered was the quote unquote anti-Semitic remarks. Right. And I'm like, and I know I said this earlier and I said it probably in a rude way. So I'm gonna try to say it again in a nicer way. I don't care what he said about Jewish people. And not that I hate Jewish people, but it don't move me.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him. I'm not sad at him. I'm not happy for him. I don't care about those comments. I ain't Jewish. Nobody I love is Jewish.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
He wasn't standing on it. Like what he's saying that the Jews do and why he's jealous. You wasn't doing that for your people. So don't come back to me later and say, hey, they do this, they do this, they do this. I'm like, but you wasn't doing that.
Yeah, but
you never did that.
Okay.
You was never that person.
But that's a totally different conversation.
So?
And I don't want to get into it because you're saying you. Now we have come on now.
I'm talking to Kanye.
Well, I know you're talking to Kanye, but what I'm also saying is regardless, and I want to be very clear that I don't necessarily agree with a lot of things that Kanye says, but for if we really want to get down to the nitty gritty and talk about how the Jews move, and you're like, but you weren't doing this. It's very hard. And one thing y'all know, as much as I love my people, we have a lot of work to do to get to a point where we can move the way in which they move. So for you to say that.
But what I'm telling you is, tell me when he tried though. Like if you tell me you tried and failed and your people didn't support you, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But if you tell me if you critique a certain thing and you never did it.
But how do we know though? So what I'm saying is, as far as
how do we know?
Yeah, how do we know?
We know by his action. We know by the way in which you live.
We know because slavery is a choice. That's all we know.
We know who he married. So right, we know who.
A lot of black men marry white women and women outside of their race all the time.
It's not strictly that, right? But it's the totality of everything that you put out.
All right, I'll let you finish.
No, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying because of who. I'm just saying because you put out a certain.
Because y'all know how y'all do. Don't play.
Oh, wow.
Who? Serena Williams.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly
your kind.
No, what I'm saying.
Serena.
Like when you talk about the
she got sick and tired of being sick.
You think we ain't sick and tired?
Of what?
Yeah.
No, y'all are not sick and tired.
This isn't that kind of podcast.
Y'all are not sick and tired of us. Y'all are sick and tired of taking accountability.
No.
That's gonna be the next topic.
My biggest.
What I mention is when I say.
Come on now.
When I mention,
you already know who you talking to.
We about to go there.
Let's get into it.
We definitely going there. We going there.
When I mention the white, you can love who you love. What I'm saying is when you choose Balenciaga, you choose Gap. You choose, you know what I'm saying? Like you choose the price point that you chose for Yeezys and everything else. That's what I speak to. That's not your community. That's not what you grew up on. So that's why I find hypocrisy in it. And how I define hypocrisy is prejudice. Like I define prejudice as hypocrisy. Like if you wouldn't do it for somebody else.
But how do we know he wouldn't? Is there anything that came out that he refused?
No, because he didn't.
Okay.
I know you wouldn't because you didn't.
Okay.
He had I believe unlike you, I believe he's a genius in certain aspects. In certain aspects, I don't. I believe he's stupid too. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ask me a football coach, I think he's a genius and a coach. I wouldn't put
and I can.
But I wouldn't Herschel Walker and put him as a council member. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So I think he could be a genius in certain aspects and not in others. So that's why. I
just feel like you can't make definitive decisions based on, because we only know what we know. We only know what he says. Like we don't know what happens behind closed doors. And y'all know, like when it comes to a certain level, the conversations, like we don't really necessarily know every single thing that happens. And so I'm one of those people where I can't necessarily make a decision until I have all the facts. So when I speak on something, like if we're talking specifically about what he, the comments that he made that led him to losing these deals, that is what I'm going to specifically speak to. Everything else, slavery is a choice, baby. That was what are you talking about? Now, when we kind of break it down, I'm like, he could have meant it, because I have seen over time that I just feel like he's not good at articulating himself.
I agree. Like if you hear him speak, he goes all over the place.
Yeah.
And let me jump in here. That's actually a skill. The name of that skill is master manipulation. Is you say one thing that is very true, and then you say something that is very crazy, and people go
or a lie,
and then people go, they can't separate it. Like me, I haven't liked Kanye in forever. So this isn't a new hatred. This isn't a new dislike.
We can tell this is.
Let me land the plane. But I'm smart enough to use discernment and insight. So I know his comments, the comments that I heard about Jewish people, I think the bulk of them were true. I didn't hear every single comment, so I can't make a blanket statement. It was all true. I can't say that. George Bush doesn't care about black people. That's up for debate, but it did not look like he did at that time. At that time, I was championing Kanye. I wouldn't bought his album just to say the shit.
And he really believed it when he said it.
And
I don't think he was smart enough to say that statement.
Which one?
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
You think he was smart enough to say it?
No. He if you say that statement, you should be able to articulate it with something. You will never say what he said. He never said nothing after that.
Yeah, he's too scared and they cut him off. But
I was about to say he only had like 20 seconds.
I'm still landing the plane.
Okay.
I'm still landing the plane. So I can see when he says something that makes sense. And I can see when he says something that's a lie. So when I listen to the interview, I go, all this shit about Jewish people, I kind of see his point. Right. George Floyd was killed by fentanyl and the cop, and he wasn't on his neck for real. That's a lie.
Yeah.
So I look at that and I do that. My issue with people is they hear those two things and go, I like him. So I'm only going to talk about the anti-Semitic comments. Right. I'm not talking about the George Floyd thing. I'm not talking about slavery as a choice. I'm not talking about none of that. I only want to talk about the thing that I agree on. The one thing he was right on. And I'm online that's like, I don't know how to say it. I don't care what he said about Jewish people. So that's not my debate. We're never going to debate that. Yes, he said something about them. It could have been true, could have been false, and they're canceling him.
Yeah, but he didn't even say anything that. He didn't even say anything negative.
Okay, because I was trying to check. I'm like,
what he did was he made a threat. I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people tomorrow. I'm about to go to bed.
But he spelled death. He meant to say death, meaning the defensive position.
He
put death. So they
I thought he did spell a DEF.
No. He spelled a DEATH.
Well, that was a faux pas. Yeah. But the thing is, but and of course, DEFCON 3 is a defensive position. It means we're defending ourselves. But who saw that tweet and didn't go, oh shit, you fucked up. You know you fucked up, don't you? You know you fucked up. So you bought the beer at 11:45.
George Floyd don't got me though.
Right, and that's completely. But I wonder. This is what I wonder because he's catering, he's pandering to white people, the white conservatives. But my point is,
I agree.
And he's using a bunch of Candace Owens talking points that he doesn't fully understand what he's saying. That's why he's never a genius to me. I came out about 12 years ago and was like, Kanye ain't a genius. Can y'all start? Jay-Z said it one time and y'all running with this shit. What is he a genius of? He don't make his beats, make some of them. Don't really make all the beats that you like. He didn't make them. He don't write his raps. He got ghostwriters. So which part is he a genius? He's the part that don't make the beats, or he's the genius at the part that don't write the raps. What the fuck is he a genius at? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's some hip hop shit. Because as a retired rapper, shout out to all my albums over there. Hey, albums.
It's kind of like Trump, though. Like to me.
But hold on. I've almost landed the plane. We done saw everybody put the seatbelts on and everything. So,
because I want to talk about something more fun. So let's land the plane.
Yeah. So in conclusion of that, it's up with Kanye because you said the shit about George Floyd. Don't disrespect black people. And that goes for Jewish people too. If you come for my people, I'm coming for you unless it's Kanye.
Because Brittany want to talk about the accountability.
No, we can just change the subject because I feel like we've all made our points and we're just kind of repeating ourselves at this point.
Okay, all right. Bring back more so she can be the moderator.
See that?
It's the mayor. Stay fly. Stay high. What the fuck? You know what it is.
See, and I sing better than Kanye. And that's how good.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Seriously, land the plane.
Land the damn plane.
You said land the plane, and I was like, and you can tell who the real pilot. You gonna land it?
I'm about to cut your mic off. What the fuck story of the week? These ATL indictments are still coming. A lot of rappers are involved. We know that YSL, Young Thug, Gunna, they're currently in prison. There was another lesser known rap group that apparently were really involved, really active. They've been locked up. The whole movement, gang, if you will, they're locked up. And there was another indictment coming down, and we knew it was coming because it kept hinting towards it. but I didn't know what it was going to be. Come to find out, they were looking to indict Lord Durk because a few years ago when he was in Atlanta, there was a murder, and through their research or discovery, they've concluded that it was committed by King Von, rest in peace, King Von, and not Little Durk. So he was, so they dropped all charges against Lil Durk and that team, concluding that the person that pulled the trigger is deceased. And this brilliant strategy was presented by an amazing young woman. I mean, she is quality personified. When it comes to legal work, she crosses her I's, dots her T's, and her T&A's.
Come on, radio commercial.
Nah, she just a bad joint. Like
We know.
She's like an IG model or some shit.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
But I think she might be Jewish. So
I mean, clearly she did her thing because, but I could tell where that was coming from. Because did you even hear about her before that?
I
Before
keep
you
my
looked her
nose to
up
the
on
streets for
Instagram?
legal. I would never.
Did you?
I
did you
would
know
never.
Before you looked her up after
I would never.
it came up. Now she is a baddie though, and clearly she's a baddie all the way around because she handles her business and she looks good. So shout out to her.
Congratulations.
You're a round of applause.
I love to see it.
I love to see it too. So, but just still positive energy and prayers up for all of the Atlanta artists because what's her name? Fannie Willis. She ain't playing.
She
Ain't playing.
She gotta do her job.
I usually support a woman when she's coming for you, but not this way.
So I don't even want to get into it. So okay, so it's like the extent in which that she's going to put these clearly Black men, behind bars after they've kind of, they turn drug money into like legal money, and it's like now we want to go back years before. How do y'all feel about that? Like if we want to talk about Kanye being anti-Black, how do y'all feel about Miss Willis? You say, like, how do y'all feel about her, like, really kind of coming for these Black men in the community who have, like, really tried to kind of change their lives? Because she's reaching back.
And I guess my unpopular opinion, I don't care.
Okay.
And I would say this. I think as a Black man, we're villainized in so many different ways by every different ethnicity, every different demographic. Period. So look, if they did something that her job is to catch them and put them in jail if they was guilty.
Yeah.
And so I don't like the issue that a lot of media will make it out that Black men are that the percentage of Black men that's doing things illegal is ridiculously high when that's not the case.
Right.
We look at 10-20% of people and we extrapolate it amongst all of us. So
same thing they do.
Yes,
Black men when they date one and then extrapolate.
And then
the same way that you guys date one Black woman and then all of a sudden
talk about that
we're the problem and that's why.
I think Black women are the solution.
We are.
But I think y'all lack accountability. But
we do not. Well, I feel like I feel like both sides do lack accountability. So now I am definitely a woman's woman. However, I am on the side of right. So I feel like both sides lack accountability in certain instances. However, y'all cannot disagree that when it comes to the Black man, like the Black woman, we will sit here and look you in your face and tell you ain't shit, but we are going to have your back when nobody else does. You don't think that's true? As a whole, I'm not talking about your specific experience.
Okay.
That's all we got to go on.
But see, and I feel like
real quick, I'll say this. My unpopular opinion is I think Black women take up for Black male victims, not Black men. Like if you see if you like a George Floyd, they gonna march. Like if a Black man get killed, they gonna march. Like you know what I'm saying? But Black men in general, no. But a black male victim, they gonna ride.
And I'll say this, I'm making
better say something different than what he.
This is very this is gonna be kind of specific, but
I'm kind of feeling
yeah, you should. That's what we're talking about. This shit right here. But it's gonna be kind of specific, but I put it on my platform and I got a wider response from it. So it's my specific situation, but I asked the world what they thought, and some people told me. So this was like in the height of the Me Too movement, the height of me learning it and understanding my role in the way I failed as a Black man. And I do take full accountability for that because it was explained to me in a way I got, and I get it. And so I know what we did, I know what we didn't do, and I own it. And I make amends for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still celebrate the Day of Atonement, October 16th. I atone for the bullshit that I did. Like, he was like, that sounds like the old new. He was like, what was the old new? Yeah, because there is an old new, because I atone for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
No way.
Yes way.
Wow.
And but I had we were debating about who does more, who has it the worst, who's doing the oppression Olympics, which I hate to do. I hate that shit. But she was like, and we're always on the front lines. We do this, we do that, and we do this, and we always there for y'all. What y'all do? And I was like, tell me, what have you ever done? But I can tell you what I did. I had an after-school program I ran in the hood in my city. I was on the board of No More Murders DC, where I went and talk to people in churches and all over the city. I did this, and I donate to I forget the program now, but where you donate money for the after-school lunches, and you sign a note in every bag. And you spend your whole day signing notes, so every kid gets a personalized note from you. Like, I do shit. Okay. And I mentor this and this and this. What have you ever done? And she just sat there like, tell me one thing you did. And she was like, well, because I didn't do anything. Yeah, you didn't do anything, is my point. You sitting here talking all this shit. I do everything. Black women always helping. You don't do nothing but retweet shit. You retweet memes of support to Black men. Are you on the ground? What do you do?
But people support in different ways, one. And two, I feel like us as Black people, I want us to be released from the shackles of making generalizations based on our own personal experiences. Because
and I don't do that, which is why I prefaced it the way I did.
You did. You corrected yourself from what we were before we got into this, and I do appreciate that. But I will say that once something happens, it's like we're like such extremists, as Black people, and it's like we really, like, instead of having a conversation, it's a debate. Like, I feel like when it comes to having conversations about Black men and Black women and coming together, we debate. Well, what have you done? Well, you've done this, and Black men are like this. Well, the Black women, and it's like, let's have a conversation and try to understand. The same way that Black men do like to say, well, Black women are argumentative and difficult. But when you go to the Latina community, they're spicy. That should be sexy when they do it. But when we do it, it's aggressive.
I like
and
aggressive.
So, but on a more serious note, it's just like, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. But nah, seriously. And so I feel like I want us to get to a point where we can really like have conversations rather than it be kind of an attack, because Black women and Black men, I feel like the stresses or what we go through is no different. It looks different. Like, my stress may not be your stress, but it's still stress at the end of the day.
I agree 100%. And J. Lou, back me up here. What do I get on here damn near every week and say my biggest beef with social media is?
What is his biggest beef with social media?
I'm tired of seeing this shit every time.
Like Black men and Black women arguing with each other.
Yeah,
that's my thing. It drives me crazy. The sassy memes back and forth about each other. All these Binky Dink podcasts doing whole episodes tearing down the opposite sex. Like, what you're asking for is what I've been championing. Obviously, you don't be paying attention on social media.
I definitely do. And that's the thing. Because I'm speaking about something, I'm not talking to you. Right. I'm speaking in general. I wouldn't be here if I didn't feel as though this was, something positive.
I think that's what it is. Like, I think what the biggest issue is, we don't listen to each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you get into a point where both sides are just telling the other person what the other person should think. I'm like, instead of just listening. Like I got 4 sisters, and they are all my best friends. Like my sisters are my best friends. I have a daughter. Like you know what I'm saying. Like it's different the way I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the issue is like it's so contentious instead of just like look, listen to what one person has to say, listen to what the other side have to say, and kind of go from there. I think what happens is you get one side telling what the other side should think. I'm like, look, if you're not a woman, you shouldn't be telling women what they should think, and vice versa.
Exactly.
Like don't tell me like nah, because men think like this, or for women, no, shut up, listen, and learn.
Comprehend and understand rather than listening to respond.
Exactly. I think most of what we do in our community is we listen to respond instead of listening to comprehend.
Yeah. And then it's also just some blatant attacks.
Yeah.
I see the men do it and I see the women do it.
But you want to know why that happens? Because people speak from a place of hurts and traumas and triggers rather than healing and then coming to speak. Like I feel like to your point, a lot of these podcasts, people are obviously speaking. Like it's okay to speak from your own experiences, but it's not okay to teach from your own experiences until you've healed from it and you've actually learned a lesson from it.
Put in the work to heal.
Yeah, and you know what I mean. And so that's the issue is that we want to come on here, we want to talk from one situation or maybe 2 situations, and it's like, do you know how many people are in this world?
Yeah, like you choosing the worst woman or the worst woman.
Yeah, and if everybody you date is just the worst person ever,
what's going on? You have
that
to
says more
understand.
about you than it does about them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't been in too many relationships with like terrible women. Like the women I'm in relationships with are typically good women. They may be a lack of emotional intelligence in one or 2, but I don't date fucked
and they
up
may
people.
say the same about you.
I doubt it. I don't know, not about me. But I mean, they would have a different complaint. Whatever their complaint is wouldn't be a lack of emotional intelligence. Yeah.
What do you think it would be? Like as far as self-awareness, what do you think the general consensus would
The same
be?
thing I spoke of earlier. I have had a really bad issue with tone.
Mm-hmm.
I've had an issue with
that's very important for
I've learned an issue with tone. I have anger anxiety. So if prior to therapy, if you did something to hurt my feelings, my most comfortable emotion is anger.
Yeah.
So if you hurt my feelings, instead of going to a sad place, I just go into an angry place, and I can be argumentative and defensive.
Okay.
And my speech, you know what I'm saying?
It reflects that.
It reflects that. Like I was saying, when I'm arguing on social media to this day, I try not to do it. But if you trigger me, you're like, fuck you mean, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't want to be that way. And shout out to you, Tandy. I need to start my sessions back up because apparently I've fallen off the wagon.
But they hit you up like
why don't you?
Because I'm like, just block them though. Because like I don't argue on social media. Like I'm gonna. It's just not me. I'm like, I got sisters, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the people I'm gonna talk to, and that's where I get my like I try to live my life how I try to be the guy that I would want my daughter to be with.
I like that.
I think that's what women and men should do. Like, because if you think of it, somebody you see yourself, you aspire to be. I think that'll help you communicate better. Like, look, I'm like, if I was talking to my sister, would I talk to her like this? I told him what I told. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I try to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, but like sometimes I'm like, relax.
Yeah. I just let people talk to themselves. I don't necessarily block them. Like I don't really have a lot of people blocked. You can literally talk to yourself.
Yeah, and one of my
somebody say something crazy, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to see this on my timeline.
You know, a good tool that I have when it does actually work for me is I disengage. I just stop. We'll be in the middle of a conversation. I'll just stop and go do something else. Yeah. They'll be like, yeah, and another thing new. I'm not reading that shit.
Yeah, that's what
I just go on by my day and I'm not going back and I'm not going back to the post. Like I'm not going back to it. So the conversation ended there. And if we see each other on another post one day, we'll communicate in a good way or bad way. Yeah, but like, because I know if I respond, because as soon as I see it, I go, I feel the blood boil.
Mhm.
I'm like, all right, I'm done.
That's hilarious.
And just let it go. And I just go on and do something else. But you know, some funny shit, and this is why toxic as fuck. I got a homie, right? We will argue. Let's say we argue about Kanye. We argue, nigga, you stupid. That's a dumbass opinion. Nigga, you stupid, dumbass opinion. And then on Instagram, we be sending each other pictures of Brittany Renner at the same time. And then on another post, we'll be like, that was a good ass game, wasn't it? I'll be like, oh, this nigga responded again. Nigga, I said fuck Kanye. And we'll be having 2-3 different conversations.
That's a real friendship, though.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
We do that shit all the fucking time. Shout out to my nigga Ogun, man. But
Yeah.
it's on there, it's Ogun, but Cecil. Shout out to that nigga. Because it'll be so funny. And I think we do it sometimes to soften the argument. That nigga, your shit was stupid. And then I'm like, did he just call my shit stupid? And then I get a message from him on IG. Man, look at that ass. I'm like, my nigga.
That's hilarious.
I swear to God, we do that shit. We've been doing that shit for years. That shit is funny as hell.
Hey, man,
Like I'm down for a good debate. Like I am the great debater. Like people would be like, okay, you better know what is going on if you want to debate her. But I don't argue. So once I feel like it's starting to get unhealthy, I'm like, all right, you got it. Because I'm not about to argue with you.
Yeah.
But
I love to debate. I kind of master it. I look at myself as a masturbator. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
For real.
Tyler Perry's accounting team. He was audited a few years back. He revealed this at InvestFest. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure podcast. And the event was actually here in Atlanta. I'm surprised you weren't there. It's up your alley. But he was talking about, trials and tribulations of being in the industry, owning your business, which somebody doesn't do, but I'm not gonna bring him back up. So he was talking about that.
No, he was talking about me. He was talking about my old prom date.
The old prom date. And he was saying that there was an audit going on, and it was going on for 3 years, and it was stressing him out. He was, because when you're making that kind of money and the government, the IRS comes, it ain't always gonna be a good thing. And during those 3 years, they finally, figured everything out. And the information that came out was the IRS owed him $9 million.
Mm-hmm.
They said his accounting team was like, yes, aren't you happy? He's like, no, nigga, you let me pay an extra $9 million?
Yeah.
And if they hadn't audited it, no, we wouldn't even know?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then J. Lou said he sent them back to the corner store.
That's actually really funny. But should he have fired them? Probably. But should people who have businesses understand that a financial advisor is not an accountant, who is not a tax preparer, who is not an attorney? Absolutely. Like accountants, and I don't know if they use the wrong term in speaking about it, but like accountants, all they do is account. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have expertise in tax filing, especially when it comes to businesses and understanding thresholds and credits and et cetera, et cetera. So, there's lessons to learn on both ends. One, if you are a professional, I know a lot of times professionals who have one profession, for instance, I'm a trust advisor. So if you come to me talking about investments, I can tell you about the general market because I have to know that. I have to be able to talk to the financial consultants on behalf of my clients who may not know. I have to know about the different sectors. But now when we start talking about specific stocks, I don't watch the stock market all day. I'm worried about estates, estate planning, my clients' money, cash flow. I'm worried about other things. So if you come to me about specific stocks, I'm going to tell you, you know what? I'm not an expert in that, but I know someone who is. You start talking tax, I have general information, but guess what? I'm not an expert. I know someone who is. And so I feel like it's very important for people to be okay with being able to say, hey, I'm an accountant, so I can do your bookkeeping, but we might need to have a CPA or, someone who has that tax expertise to do your taxes. But now when we start talking about all the billable hours that he was paying them, of course they on TurboTax trying to figure it out, and you end up owing way much more, and that's what ends up happening. And so I think it's a lesson for both Tyler Perry and his accountants on understand you know, what these titles mean and what their expertise is. And then to that other point, like, stay in your lane, stick to what you know.
Yeah, I would agree. Exactly. Exactly.
I agree completely. Stop. Don't try to save a buck and, you know, ask somebody for advice that you know you shouldn't be asking for.
Yeah.
And my job is this.
Exactly.
Don't ask me to do that. My job is X. Don't ask me to do Y.
Right.
It's okay to not know everything. Like, it is okay.
That's my religion. I'm from the religion of I don't know.
From a professional standpoint, we got to understand when we're not, you know, I do certain things, you know, from an insurance standpoint, financial advisor, insurance. Like, we got to know, look, if the deal is not for us, it's not for us.
Yeah.
If we don't know, look, that's somebody's livelihood. Shut the fuck up. Like, sometimes, like some people try to oversell something. Like, we in a world where people try to oversell everything they do. I'm like, look, it's not true. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, it's okay to tell them what you do and what you don't do. Yeah. And that's okay.
And being the connector that I am, I find that there's actually a lot of success in just knowing people. Like, I may not have the answer, but I know someone who does. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get the answer regardless. Like, you know, it's okay to be resourceful and not necessarily have to know everything.
I agree 100%. And moving right along to our
Did y'all hear that? We agree.
Award. Yay.
If it's sports, if it's fashion, if it's music, if it's hustling, whatever, you're on a marathon, you know. So
you're on a marathon. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to shout out, well, this off top. Uber, DoorDash, Uber, Lyft. Shout out to all of those, because I've been people making 6 figures doing it, and it's giving people part-time money. It's giving people extra jobs. Like, and it's convenient as fuck when you want to go somewhere. Like, we getting twisted tonight. I ain't gonna call Uber. So shout out to them in general. Right. But in Canada, Uber Eats and Leafly have partnered up together to deliver the finest of the cannabis, the greenest of the leaf, the chiba, the reefers. And I thought that was just kind of cool. When I found out that you can get liquor delivered to you, I was like, that's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? But like, oh, so you can get weed delivered to you? That's a whole nother thing. Like,
who knew? I said, who knew?
Who knew? You know what I'm saying?
Toronto different.
Toronto knew.
I done been there a couple times for Carabana.
And that's a weed festival.
Nah. I ain't been there for no weed festival. Carabana's like, you know, but it's legal there. So you go in their dispensaries, man, they got everything lined up for you. You just walk in, ask what you want, whatever you say. It's all, you know, everything is legal. Like, I love Canada.
Yeah, I've never experienced any of this. The corporate Black girl would never, because I cannot do that in my profession. So strictly sober, for the record. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. But I just feel like it's just funny to me. But so my first thought, right, when I heard that, when you told me, I was like, I mean, DoorDash, we already have a hard enough time Uber Eats getting our food. Like, could you imagine having somebody like actually having weed delivered? But then when I looked more into it, apparently they take it to the store that they're partnered with, and then somebody from that store delivers it, correct? Or does Uber deliver it? I think when I looked into it, it was like Uber sends it to, who did they partner with that you said? Leafly, and then Leafly has a driver that then delivers it. Did I read that incorrectly? I'm going to be quiet.
You may be right, but if that is what is happening, that is let me find my drop, because that's a lot of going.
Truly, you have a dizzying intellect.
So Uber picks the weed up from where and takes it to, they pick it up from somewhere and take it to the weed store, and then the weed store delivers it. That's like an extra trip or something.
I'm telling you.
Leafly should be where the weed is at.
Okay,
So they
well,
should pick
I
it up
could
from
be
Leafly.
completely wrong, y'all. I could be completely
You
wrong.
could be completely right. They could just have a Disney intellect.
But the fact still stands, like, we can't even trust people to drop off food. You think that you really trust that Uber driver to drop off
That's
food?
why they doing it in Toronto.
But people get laptops and shit delivered from Apple. There's a checks and balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, laptops
Just not with your food.
$1,500. So
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of weed you're getting, but you probably ain't spending that much. I'm just saying. And
it's my thing when I used to smoke my weed, it was getting delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was getting delivered from your weed man. Your weed man just pulled up on you.
Right.
He was taking the money too.
See, not
from my mom.
From my man.
Oh, my man.
Oh, and I may or may not have delivered that.
I was about to say, what?
I may or may not. Then I used to meet niggas at the gas station. We made the gas station. I got you. We made this.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Wow, we didn't call weed gas back then. But imagine now, I said meet me at the gas station. See, that's what you could call it. Wow. If I open a dispensary, I'm gonna call it the gas station.
Ooh, you shouldn't have said that because somebody about to trademark it.
And then my strip club is gonna be called the mayor's office. You know what I'm saying? The mayor's office. And then that was my old rap name. But anyway, let's go into all the shows that I watched that none of you even heard of before.
Yay!
This sounds like a great topic.
Netflix and chill. What does that even mean?
It means I watched some shit and they didn't.
Oh, I was going somewhere else with it.
Oh, what does it mean?
I mean, come on, y'all. What does Netflix and chill really mean?
Tell me what it means.
It means are you still watching? I'm just playing. It's giving. Are you still watching?
Oh, you said Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill. Here you go.
I didn't know what you were saying.
That's actually very clever. I have to give it to you.
Lucy, I'm gonna take it.
You took it there.
Finish the movie.
I always go there. I'm a trip.
Let me tell you, finish the movie.
On a Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
Real talk. It's gonna sound crazy. Well, not crazy, but it's gonna sound unlike new. I watched the whole movie. If we put on a movie, I want to see it. I watch the movie and then we go do what we do. I've never been like watching a movie in like 20 minutes and like, all right, when I'm lying. I have said, you want to finish this shit? Not really. Boom. But
oh, so you actually go in and like pause it and stuff. That's really cute.
Yeah,
I find myself having to go back and rewind where we were because there's no such thing as like having a conversation that you kind of just like.
Yeah, but usually I'm watching
slow spot. You see what
I know how the night going in. I know how the night going in. I ain't got to rush. You got to warm me up first. You got to entertain me. Have some good conversation, have some fun, and then I'm ready. You can't just cut on the movie and 10 minutes later I'm just know me.
I mean, I don't know about 10 minutes, but know you. How are you getting to know somebody while watching a movie? Because
that's why I never do that on the first date. I never take a woman to a movie theater on the first date. I think that was the worst first date you could ever have.
That was our first date.
Technically, no.
Because it wasn't a date. Because we were just friends.
I thought it was a date. I thought it was a date until we left the movie.
I don't want to make them. I don't want to make the mountain mad. I'm just kidding. We're just friends.
J-Lo, we went and saw the romantic ass The Photograph, Issa Rae.
Yeah.
We went and saw this romantic ass movie.
Nothing happened after that.
Nah, I found that I was in the friend zone after that. I was like, so Brittany,
that's just you start holding hands.
Yeah, right. And I was like, I tried to grab my hands and she hit me and shit. I was like, what the fuck? I thought we just saw the romantic ass photograph.
He did not try to touch my hand.
I tried to grab my hand. She was like, bruh. I was like, oh, she called me bruh. No, she said bro. She was like, bro. I was like, oh, I'm bro now? You know what? You know what? I was like, girl, I don't know what you think, but somebody gonna pay for them nachos. I don't know if it's gonna be you. Somebody say what you think gonna make up for them nachos.
Somebody pay for them nachos, and you had jalapenos on there.
And jalapenos.
If you watch a Photograph,
no,
we did. It was a good movie too.
It was a great movie.
I really like that movie.
They was like, "Are you still watching?" I was like, "Yes." We're still watching. We're still watching.
We gonna be homies for life.
That's what she was saying. I was like this, yeah. Just like that. That scene right there.
But it was a whole bunch of romantic voice in it. You ain't lean over, hold the hand. And
I told you she smacked me when I tried to grab her hand. You missed that part?
I really don't recall that. I'm not gonna lie.
Ouch.
I think he'd be joking.
I don't know if he's joking about that though.
I don't know.
She ain't taking no accountability.
No, I'm really
You know
saying
how they
like
are.
I'm really big on accountability and fairness. But like I don't recall. I'm sorry if I did that.
You did not do that. You did not do
I
that.
was about to say.
Some people it's not memorable.
Wow. Why? You know what? I'm gonna cut your mic off. Where's my guy? You silent.
It was a great movie. It
Oh,
was a good movie.
that was hilarious. It was.
Yeah, and I saw the whole movie too. I saw every line.
I watched. I think the first time I finished it in the morning.
I'm not about to play with you.
I finished it in the morning because like it started. It was a good movie. So I had to finish it.
No, but we went to the movie theater.
We was in the theater.
Oh, that's what's up.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Took a shooter theater.
Yeah.
The one where you order food and shit, drinks and shit. And she was just like, "Thanks, homie." All right, buddy. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what the first insult was? How much do I owe you?
Well, I mean,
no, the fuck you didn't.
No,
That's good though. That's
I mean,
I like that though.
I naturally am like that though.
That's good. That's good.
No, I'm pretty sure I really did do that.
When women offer like,
I mean, it wasn't bad.
I never let a woman pay. You know what I'm saying? But the offer.
I told us $29.50.
Actually,
Thank you.
no,
I did not do that.
He absolutely did not do that. I'll give him that. He did not do that. He's nice when he wants to be.
I'm a nice person. Well, you know what? Let me be honest. Let me just be honest real quick.
I'm not a nice person.
I'm not. But some other people that weren't nice were some of these characters on the House of the Dragons. And neither one of you are into Game of Thrones or House of the Dragons at all. Well, I'll save this for when I have Mel or somebody come on.
Yeah.
But it was a really good, it's a spinoff series and it predates the Game of Thrones by 200 years. And you get to hear about all of the old shit you hear in their conversations on Game of Thrones. You're seeing the people. You're witnessing the stories. Excuse me. You're just like, oh shit. Damn, they did say the great uncle they did the thing. And, oh, the grandfather did take her to the movies and she put him in the friend zone. That did happen. Okay. I'm stop. But it's a really good show. I enjoyed it. I thought it was maybe not as good as Game of Thrones, but I'm in. And the way it ended, like the next season will start to 2024.
What?
Oh man.
So y'all got time to catch up.
See, now that you told me 2024, I'm not going. Like I'm the binge type.
You can binge 7 seasons until 2024.
Yeah, it's giving. Are you still watching?
You ever watch Game of Thrones?
I couldn't get into it.
This is what I'm gonna say. The first 2 episodes, I won't say were poorly shot, but you could tell the budget didn't kick in until like mid-season. So the first episode I had to watch like 7 times, and I was like, I don't like the show. And all my friends was like, dog, it's a great show, you'll love it. I'm like, dog, I can't get past the fucking first episode. And it was like, just make it to like the 3rd or 4th, though. If you do that, and I was like, All right, episode 1. Okay, that wasn't bad as I thought. Episode 2, okay, it's getting better, I guess. Episode 3 was like, I might kind of like this zone. I'm gonna watch 4 right now too. Do a double up. And then after 4, I was like, oh my fucking God. This shit fire. And then by the end of the season, I was like, how they got me, is that a spoiler? Y'all ain't gonna watch it no way. All the people I thought were the main characters in the first 3-4 episodes, they all died. They weren't the main characters. So I was like, how you killed him? I'm so invested in this character. What the kind of show is this? Like, why would you? He's a star, right? And they're like, no, he's not. I'm like, what the fuck? And so you go through, anybody can get it. Anybody can go in any moment and it's going to be raw. Like, I put it number 2 to The Wire. I think The Wire is the greatest show that was ever on TV. That's a number 2 to me.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I could not. I'm pretty sure there were several episodes because I was actually dating someone at the time and like he liked it. He was into it. And it was giving, are you still watching? And he would just have to watch it like after I left. Like he would try, we would try, I would try. But like, yeah. Then I had to become the TV and he just got back to it later. And we're still here years later and I still can't get into it. So anyway.
Did you say you became the TV? Think about this for a minute. All right, okay, cool.
Oh, you know what I meant.
I know what I meant right now. All right, so I've been obsessed with these relationship reality shows. It's like 2 or 3 I watch. Love is Blind is one of them. The Kickback is the audience actually bullied me on social media into going on Married at First Sight. So I did send in my little application thing, but apparently I didn't get picked because when I was like, what's a pandemic? They're probably not even doing it no more. They're like, new season in Atlanta. I was like, you bitch, you ain't pick me. Y'all ain't pick me.
That's hilarious.
And so that was like a joke because they was like, go on. And I finally did the application and told them all the questions. It was a good time. That was one of the times the Kickbackers was on my ass. Like, nigga, go on the show. But Love is Blind, are you guys familiar with it at all?
I am familiar with Love is Blind.
Yeah, I am.
So you start off in these cubicles, you can't see each other, you're just talking, getting to know each other. You go from cubicle to cubicle till you find a potential mate, and then essentially you propose. And if they accept, then you meet each other the next day in person.
Yeah. So you're like talking to a person, but you don't see them.
Oh, so maybe I'm thinking like I thought I was talking about like the Steve Harvey or like one of the dudes that worked on the Steve Harvey show. But that's what Love is Blind.
That's the one that was here a couple years ago. I knew some people on that episode, on that season.
Okay. So this one completely different. So you actually talking directly to the person. Based on the conversation, you make a decision if you want to accept the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's whatever the one that was here that people watch. And then it's Married at First Sight, then it's Love is Blind. Then there's one called The Ultimatum, where you
I saw The Ultimatum.
That was some ratchet shit.
It was.
You're with your person. They may or may not be ready to settle down or get married. So you go into this boot camp, whatever you want to call it, with other singles or other couples, and you date around. And by the end of it, you decide if you want to stay with your person or move on with someone else. That shit was ratchet. That shit was a lot of heartbreaking pain.
It was, but it also teaches you, like, I personally do not believe in giving someone an ultimatum. Okay. Now, I do believe in you having to make a decision for yourself, but like giving someone an ultimatum, 1 or 2 things are going to happen. That person is either going to be like, hey, I'm not ready. And, you know, that hurts. You can move on, which is fine. Or they're going to sign up for something that they're really not ready for. And, you know, now you have to go through that. So it's like giving someone an ultimatum. If you got to that point, clearly, if they make the decision to move forward, it's strictly because you gave them an ultimatum, not because they made that decision for themselves. And as a woman, I do feel like marriage is 100% something that the man has to want to do. I don't feel as though it's something that I can tell someone that they need to be ready for. Now, I can have my own, you know, shot clock. And if it doesn't work out by then, I can see myself out. But I don't think it's appropriate to give anyone an ultimatum.
Yeah, a person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still.
Yeah.
I hold that shit near and dear. Like, I don't want to convince you. Yeah, I want you to want it.
And how long, like, this is like, what, like a couple weeks, couple months?
Well, the ultimatum, they lived in their own personal lives and decided the person wasn't ready, so they brought them to the show.
Okay.
Since they're not ready, we've been together for 4 years, 3 years. They're not ready. We're doing the ultimatum.
Yeah.
And then you date other people.
You think it should be a timeline?
On marriage? Or engagement?
Yeah.
I don't believe in timelines.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tricky because the majority of my dating life, it takes me a long time for it to click.
Okay.
So I'll be with somebody and I'll be thinking, you know, this
What's
school,
your
this school.
sign?
Aries. Does that make sense? What's your sign?
I'm a Taurus, but I'm an Aries
yeah.
rising, so I definitely understand.
Yeah, I think I'm gotta look at my chart. You use the CoStar app?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. I gotta add you.
Hell yeah. What's Jay-Z? He is Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius. Well, what's the rising?
Rising is how you appear to people. Is how people would perceive or who they would think
Yeah,
that you are.
I'm a Sagittarius rising. My my love is Aries again. And well, I'll add you. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I know I done told you about this shit before. We done talked about it.
Just ask your mama what time you were born, and we got the rest.
Yeah, it was 1 in the morning, but I'm a Pisces. Oh, that's all I know.
But we need an exact sign. I mean, an exact time.
I think it was like 6 in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. We'll confirm.
6 in the morning. Shout out to Ice-T.
He definitely took it back with that one.
Yeah. So Love Is Blind. I'm watching it because I'm into that shit. Like I'm into not arranged marriages, nothing like that, but you get to a point, and the reason why they was fussing at me to go on the show, that's all the saying shit like, I was gonna meet a girl in a cereal aisle and she grabs cinnamon toast crunch and let's go propose. Just fuck it. Let's just get engaged. We will figure out the dynamics of the relationship later.
You gotta make a decision though. Like you know, like, look, I choose to do this.
Yeah.
So that's a certain
because you definitely get married and then you spend time together and then you decide, like he said, whether or not you want to move forward. I like the concept of Love Is Blind because it forces you to get to know a person. So by the time you choose this person, you have chosen them literally and just like off of you getting to know them, how they think, how they feel, because you literally pick this person based off of your conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to see them. So there's no like, there's no lust or there's no like, oh, you look good, so let's see if this is going to work. Like you literally have no idea what this person looks like, whether they're white, black, Hispanic, like you have no idea.
Unless you hear it in their accent or whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But
I feel like if I did it, I don't know. I feel like some people would probably not think that I was black. Because even my clients.
What if you're not attracted to a person though? Like
that's happened. This girl was not attracted to the dude, and she was so upset. She was so upset.
Like, if you don't have no attraction with this.
Yeah, but
that matters too.
I guess you have you're able to say,
thank you.
Yeah, I have tried to date women I wasn't attracted to because it made sense. You do this, I do that. You think this way, I think that way. You get this shit, I'm in. And it didn't work. Like what I'm used to is, and what I enjoy is like woman I'm with, like I'm physical. That's one of my love languages, right? So I want to feel like every time I see you, like did you just breathe? What you take your clothes off? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are you breathing around me? What the fuck? And I want to feel that way. And this the foul shit. And I don't. Well, she doesn't know. She probably doesn't even listen to the podcast. But Usher's "There Go My Baby" song came out, and I looked at her, and I was like, "That's not my baby. Like, it's not."
I was going completely like I thought he was going to say.
I can't look at her and see that. That's when
That was ridiculous. Y'all see when the guy told the girl after they chose one another.
I think it was a black dude and the girl went off. She was calling them all kind of names. They was at the pool when he told her, and she was like, "What?"
No, didn't she tell him? Because didn't she like find out? And she approached him about it. I thought
at the pool.
Yeah,
I'm not
he
sure.
didn't never tell her. I didn't think.
I think she was like, "Why he keep holding his hand like that?"
No, I think it just like came out as far as like, once you see the show, you're able to like people know you in real life. Yeah. But to your point, I do feel like attraction is something that's very important. It's like I have to be attracted to you. And then beyond that, there has to be something that makes it stick even when like I can't stand you. So I believe he told her and got mad at the fact.
Oh yeah, he was the one that got mad. That's right. He acted an ass.
So he told her, okay.
Now it's coming back to.
I was about to say something, but I thought it might not be right to say.
Uh-oh.
What Kanye do?
Whispered in my ear.
That's it. What
You can whisper.
if that's what he did, it sounded like, you know, like.
He says she didn't accept him for who.
Yeah, I think she said.
Yeah. Okay.
I literally think she said, like, give me a day to think about this.
I ain't about to get canceled.
Yeah, it canceled. I think she was like, give me a day to process this information, and before he could process it, she said, give me a day to process. And like the very next morning, he just was cussing her out. And I think she was almost with it, like, maybe I can do this.
Oh yeah. So the others, the feminine,
he went off.
I got to be very, very careful with saying this. But I feel like the man, the man that he presented himself to be, when they started getting into it, it was given. But I mean, men can operate in their feminine energy as well, as be very clear. But it was given very much feminine energy, because he was arguing with her like she was another, like two women going at it, because he was like, that's why your wig been messed up this whole time. And it's just like, you never really hear a man be able to be specific about how your lace looks.
He was definitely gonna relapse. Most men, I'm gonna be honest, most men, we don't know we don't know your hair is messed up unless it's really messed up.
Right.
Like if I can tell something wrong with your hair, I mean,
it's
really fucked up.
Yeah, that means
if I can tell you got a new hairdo.
I'm like, you didn't hide it at all.
That means it's time to send that cash app so she can go to the hair salon. That's what it's.
Getting no accountability on a woman to go do her own damn hair.
That's what it's giving.
He was snapped.
Because 9 times out of 10, if my hair is messed up, you messed it up. So
yeah, that would be true.
Yeah.
All right then.
He was snapped for the gals arguing her down with the reed honey.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, he was definitely
he was reading her.
Oh, he was definitely gonna relapse though.
Yeah.
That's it was definitely coming back.
No, but like
it was coming back. Whatever he used to do.
But you know what though?
What did he say?
Whatever they say he did that
shit. But he gonna do it.
With like the LGBTQIA. Okay, and that's correct. You're not being funny.
That's correct.
Okay, because I like to respect everybody.
I'm an advocate.
Okay, and as am I, but I feel like there's so much like sensitivity to that, to where like, you know, I can say that's not for me and still respect anybody who is. And so I feel like a lot of people, you know, like for me personally, if I would not feel comfortable knowingly dating a bisexual man.
Right.
And I feel like it should be okay for me to say that is not my preference, but I still respect, like, whatever you do it. But like, please be honest and upfront about it and give me the opportunity to accept it or not.
Yeah.
That's where I see the problem is.
And that's the issue, I think, more times for women than men, because he already relapsed. Because when men, a lot of times men, we're interested in bisexual women or whatever. Like that, that's a thing or whatever. Like me personally, I am. But I'm just saying. But I want to be in the know. I do want to be in the know. You know what I'm saying? Jav. So that's Love Is Blind.
Yeah.
And there's a new show called The Industry that I want to watch. It's kind of like from my understanding, like one of those Wall Street shows, these business minds, and they playing all these games to get to the top of the company and this, that. I do want to start watching that. I cut it on the other day, but I wasn't in the mood for it.
That sounds kind of like Partner Track. So I just finished that, the first season. I really liked it. Like it's like Partner Track. So everybody's on the track to make partner. And then it kind of shows like everything that they had to go through, as well as like the relationships and stuff like that. So it sounds like similar to.
Is that a TV show or reality show?
It's scripted.
Okay, yeah, well, both of them are scripted.
Yeah.
I never finished. It's a B word, not boiler. Billions. That's supposed to be a show along those lines as well. That's really good. I never finished it. Okay. The first episode, they had like a BDSM scene, threw me off. That's when Netflix insists you don't finish, because when you got the girl in the chair and she was banging, It's going to trigger you.
Trigger?
In a good way.
Oh.
It's going to pull that trigger. Bang, bang! But let's see what else we got. As we wrap up, we're going to go, and I always say this is Mill's favorite segment, and Mill ain't even here. Shout out to Mill. But let's get into her favorite segment.
I might go fried chicken
this weekend?
Yeah, you riding?
Yeah, we can go before the party.
Fried chicken?
Party? I thought it was on Sunday.
Wait, what's going on?
No, I'm talking about the fried chicken.
That is Sunday.
That on Sunday.
We could do that in between our team games. I think we play at 1.
Wait, what? Who has fried chicken?
Former co-host, and my female best friend is a chef at the Lawrence restaurant.
Where is that located?
Midtown.
Oh, okay.
And she has a recipe. She has a couple recipes, but her one that's most beloved is her mother's fried chicken recipe.
Mm-hmm.
And they put it on the menu, on the brunch menu or the Sunday menu.
Come on, brunch.
And
do they got mimosas there?
They got liquor. They got a bar. So I would think so.
Mimosas. Okay.
So we go and support every now and then, just go and support and shit.
Yeah.
But you can do that.
Yeah.
You coming out?
Hear that?
You're invited. So come on out.
Thank you. When are we going?
You said you want to do Sunday?
I thought that's when they do the chicken. Like,
I think you're right.
I wanted the fried chicken. So
well, just confirm and just let me know. I'm going.
And what was it? Her favorite segment. And YouTube makes me turn the volume down. They be trying to sue me. But we were the first ones with the this or that segment and the first ones to use this song. If I don't do that, YouTube will block out my So we got some quick hitters for this or that. This or that used to be a long, particular subject. But now I like quick hitters unless something grabs you, you want to speak about it more. So let's start with the man you're dealing with, the man you're dating, your spouse, your companion for life. Should he pay all the bills, or could you go half and half on the bills?
I'm assuming this question is for me.
Well, and how do we see it as well with dealing with?
Okay.
No.
Well, I'll give my perspective first, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like this. I come from a household where the man pays all of the bills. And so how I feel about it is that as independent as I am, I would love to and desire, and I feel like the Lord's going to give me the desires in my heart. So I am going to end up with a man who wants to take care of me, even though he does not have to. So with that being said, I feel like the man paying all the bills would probably be appropriate. And then my income can be used for investments, making more money. I'll be able to do cute little stuff on the side. Now, in general, I feel like that is appropriate. I feel like where women go wrong is that if you do come into a situation like that and you expect for the man to take care of all the bills, you have to understand that you are now subject to living within his wage. So if I'm coming into a situation and I decide to be with a man and this is what he can afford, let's just say he's making, let's just say $100,000 a year. Well, now we have to live within a wage of someone making $100,000. Anything above that, I will be willing to contribute. If my lifestyle takes for a little bit more than that, I would be more than happy to contribute for whatever is above that. So that's kind of how I feel about it.
I'm not mad at that. I'm clap it up for that one. I ain't mad at that. J. Lou?
I would say I'm more of a 70-30 type of guy.
That is
and I would say this, and the reason I would say that is because I feel like as a guy, like we use those constructs, those same constructs on how people were living at that time. Like I do stuff around the house. I'm an involved parent, so it's different. Like normally when that parent was like 100%, 100 this, it's like I look at relationships like a balance but you can balance different things. So maybe, you know what I'm saying, as a wife, you balance it, you taking care of 100% of the child, or 100% of the cleaning, I'm taking care of 100% of the bills. Like, you know, it's just a balance in a relationship. But with me, I'm a heavily involved father. Like, I got split custody with my child. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. So I'm more of a 70-30 because I want to be, I'm more of like, hey, I need to pay the majority just because, you know, it feels better for me. So, you know, 70-30, and then, you know, you put stuff aside for trips because, you know, I love to travel. So, you know, I'm more like that.
Yeah, it's the funny part about that is I made a Facebook post about this about a year ago, and the consensus we came to was 70-30. That's why I mean, he's probably on the damn post, and that's the consensus we came to. But I do view it two different ways. So whatever, of course, I can take care of my particular lifestyle and more. So if you,
I pay 100% of the bills.
yeah, I Burger, he's married.
But I get whatever I want whenever I want.
Hey, listen. Happy wife, happy life.
Happy spouse, happy house.
He gets it.
But I also think that if a woman comes into my world and I'm already supporting my world, I don't know if she got to come in and then we do a split on my world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm paying all the bills right now, I'm doing everything right now, and you come in, I already got it.
You're already paying the bills.
Yeah, I'm already doing it. So you make sure we get to Dubai. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how, yeah, because I mean,
and you pay for the sex clubs and toys, my sexual done. Sorry, I got to say.
And as a man, like I feel like as a man, you should.
Come on, you be going down to Trapeze. Are they still open?
I haven't heard anything about that since the pandemic.
Okay.
I got paranoid.
As a man, I feel like you should, like certain stuff you should have shown the ability to do. Like, it's like I got my house before I had one. You know what I'm saying? Like before I ever dated. So I'm like, look, you have to show that you have the ability to take care of certain stuff on your own, period. Yeah. So that's why I agree with you. Say like, look, if you like, hey, look, I already got this life established.
Yeah.
You want to do a little bit more. You have a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I agree.
Yeah. And ultimately, I feel at the end of the day, there's genuinely no right or wrong way
I agree
to do it. I feel like everybody should do what works for them, and whoever they choose to be with, they just have to align and agree with that. And I also would just like to say, like, why is it that Black people are the only people who talk about money and bills and like, why are we the only community? Like, you do not.
I would say this.
Are we?
We are.
I don't know what the hell white people and Chinese people talk about.
Somebody check me that. Maybe that's the reason, because we're not on those platforms. Like we maybe because we don't follow.
Yeah, we're not on JewishPlanet.com.
I was with you. Like, look, why are we the only ones that are doing it? And somebody checking, I'm like, well, maybe that's. I'm not
gonna lie to y'all, because in different cultures, I would argue, and
I hope you're right, because
I would,
right, then everything I was saying was true.
I would bet that I am right, only because I mean, in different cultures, the man is going to take care of the household. Period. Now, on the other flip side, the woman is absolutely taking care of the house and cooking and cleaning and making sure there's meals and things of that nature. And so it's very, very, I guess you would say, traditional. I feel like nowadays, with women becoming more of the breadwinners and women are working and professional, especially Black women now, we're taking over.
Black women out earn us. I think that's why it comes up, because they out earn us.
We do, but
that's not accurate.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? You want to Google it?
Yeah, like
on average. You do the Googles. I'll read these comments. Shannon says I prefer the bills just get paid. That's it. We work it out between us. Yeah. It's situational. No, Burger said he pay all the bills, but he get whatever you want when he want it. Paying bills together doesn't become a thing until your world becomes our world.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear that.
But the thing about it is, a lot of people move in, like, and especially in our Black community, because we're marrying less and things of that nature. So yes, we are just dating and living together more now. So these conversations are kind of coming up.
I've had different situations. I've had a situation where I paid for everything. I had a situation where we literally went half. Well, it didn't start off as half, my college girlfriend. I was paying everything because she was just chilling. And then once it was like she was there every day.
Mhm.
Once she moved in, it was like I got half. We were young.
Yeah.
I think it is situational, but I think I always wonder if I pay for everything, what the fuck are you doing with your money? You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like
you put up some good examples, though.
But as far as a man who really like cares about a woman, like what does it matter? Now I get on your end, it's like I'm putting in all this money. What if something happens between us? Now I'm, X, Y, and Z. Like we can get into that.
I mean, literally, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
like
as a woman, if I'm still working and I have a man that's paying all the bills, of course I'm going to handle like I would like to call it like extracurricular, activities. And I mean, I'm in finance and I'm into making more money. So there's obviously different things that I'm thinking about that other people may not think about. But at the end of the day, I've been in a situation where I've had a man living with me and I paid for everything, including dates. I've been into So
I have 4 sisters. I'm gonna tell you this: you do not want to know the conversation I would have with you as my sister.
For me, but to your point, like you said, well, I do stuff around the house. Like he would cook sometimes, and he was kind of handy or whatever. I mean, obviously, I cook too.
If it's 100,
but even if it's 100%, it just
Were you just saying that you paid all the bills?
You paid all the bills, and he cooked.
Because he moved in with me, and what was supposed to happen. What was supposed to happen?
Moving in with a woman is the same thing as being homeless. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he had an apartment. I do own I own my place, so it was. I'll give him that. It was easier for him to move in with me. However, the
easy for us to buy a new place. But go ahead.
The agreement, no, because either way, I wasn't going to get rid of it. But at that time, Airbnb was still lit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the agreement was like he would like pay half or like pay for some of the bills, and then obviously he moved in, and me being a ride or die, I died. That's why I'm not ride or die no more, because I died. But after like the first month, I was paying all the bills. And why was I doing it? Because, I was with him and he always had this different business idea, and I was trying to ride for him and be that good supportive person, because Black men say Black women don't do that. And I ended up learning, like, I don't care what y'all say, because me as a woman.
Well, he said, did he put a Lawrence on you?
I would never, ever go into a situation, even me as a woman. Like, I'm not going into a situation if I'm not financially stable. So I feel like as a human being, everybody, financial stability and money should not be such a conversation, because you should have it. And the only conversation is like, hey, this is what my wage is. This is what I can afford. And anything above that, you're going to have to contribute. Now, do I necessarily agree with the extreme of women like doing absolutely nothing and the man just spoiling her? Now, some men, that's how they flex. They flex on their woman not lifting a finger, and that works for them. But I am comfortable with having a financially stable man that takes care of things, and whatever it is that I want above that, I'm going to have to be willing to contribute to that.
I think that's a great note to end it on, because I agree with you. Excuse me, 100%.
Not kept that. I can't believe I said that out loud, but I was a lot younger. Like, those are experiences that you have to learn. And that's why I can sit here and I can say, hey, that does not work for me, because I've already done it.
Yeah.
I died. Y'all know that what I was talking about. I ain't no ride or die, because every time I ride, I die.
Man, this has been a great episode. Me and Jayla, we can get into sports another day. And just to let you guys know, as far as music, the Pod Named Kickback playlist is available on Apple Music. It's updated every Friday. 21 Savage and Drake are doing a joint album called Her Loss. And I think it's going to be some good old Toxic Future music.
I think so too. I'm excited about it. I actually really like both of them, so I'm excited.
Me too. 21.
On God, because 21 Savage literally is like top 3 as far as ad-libs for me.
Yeah.
Showing up to probably one of the best, probably the best HBCU out there. For this homecoming.
I'm not sure because
it showed up to the house.
Because at Howard University, HU, you know.
I don't know who was there. But I know.
Diddy.
No one cares about Diddy.
He's a billionaire. You got to move on.
I don't know. With that Diddy on and Carisha,
Carisha was there.
Carisha was there.
HU?
You get a little.
You know?
Hey man, look. You get Drake come out to your homecoming, man. Hey man, the house, man. We did it again.
I mean, well, y'all did it this year.
We did it again.
You think Drake ain't been in Howard?
I'm gonna start twerking on the couch.
Drake got songs about being in Howard.
I'm just kidding. Y'all know I'm just kidding.
The house.
Well, I'm just saying, HU. You know what I'm saying?
Babyface album. Oh, you know what? I gotta check that out.
Oh, Babyface album was really, really good.
I'm an R&B guy.
It's called. I told you about it. Did I text you about it?
Huh?
Did I text you about it?
No.
Well, it's Ladies Night Out, and it features a bunch of all the new hot ladies in R&B, and of course Babyface wrote it all, but it sounds modern, but it don't sound like Keith Sweat saying the song like "I be shooting my gun" last year. I'm like, Keith Sweat, you're 75. What are you doing?
Okay,
it's not that shit. It is
not Keith Sweat. You're 75. What are you?
I'm just saying. Let me not say that because Keith Sweat will fuck me up. Keith Sweat don't play that shit. He will fuck you up. He will fuck you up. So no disrespect, Keith. Peace, brother.
Nobody.
Who want beef with Keith? Nobody. But the album is really, really good. Ari Lennox has a good song on there. Money Long has a great song on there. Ella May got a good song on there.
He brought him out. Like, because what? Yes.
The Isley Brothers' new album has a couple good songs on it. They did a little bit of that. We're gonna do what the young kids do. Mm-hmm. Those songs I can't really get into, but Make Me Say It Again, which is a remake by Em and Beyonce. Love that. And he remade my motherfucking song "There'll Never Be," which is by the group Switch, which is the older brothers of the Barge.
Okay.
And he remade the song, or they remade the song. Check this out. With El DeBarge, that's cool, right? And Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Come on.
Do you hear me, man? Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and El DeBarge. One song.
I got the Earth, Wind, and Fire records down
Yeah. Do you remember? Lieutenant, what's up,
I'll check that out.
Okay, cool. That's a good one. Young Jeezy back. I love it. Him and DJ Drama put out an album. It's mixtape style, but it's all original music. Fucking fire. Make me feel like it's DC in 2005, and I got small bags in my left pocket, fat bags in my right. That's how it made me feel. And I've been serving on my left pocket all night. So I'm killing it, and I didn't even have to go to the good. You know what I'm saying? They buy little shit. They buy the 0.6s and the 0.7s.
That's it?
Yeah.
What is a 0.7?
Well, you're supposed to sell a gram, right? But
a gram of
love. A gram of love.
I love it.
So. But
a lot of people love it.
Yeah, exactly. It'll take you back to a time. So that was great to hear. He did a good interview with $1 Million Different Game, and another interview I want to talk about because she called me and asked me, how I felt about the interview, and I told her it was fine. She got to tell her story, and I support it. If you don't know what I'm talking about my boo. Y'all know who my boo is.
Child, how did I know
she
was
did
talking about Ashanti?
Because that's my boo.
Talking about
who else would I be talking about?
Him.
She did. She wanted me to watch it and give her my thoughts.
I was thinking she go.
See?
Okay, so both of y'all liars. Got it.
Ashanti wished me happy birthday, and that's a fact. And she shouted me out on video. That's the proof of our love. If I have to show it to you, I will. I mean, I don't want too much.
No need.
But so she talked about the relationship with Irv, and she basically was like, "Get over it, dog. Like you just messy. I see a lot of female in you, and I like Irv, but I didn't really like that. You know what I'm saying?"
Can we just talk about the fact that he is married and still talking about Ashanti? Like, could you imagine?
He ain't married.
He's not married.
No.
He was married.
He was married at the time, but he said they were separated. when he was dealing with Ashanti.
He was dating some young chick.
So he's
the
not
last couple
married right
years.
now?
No.
Huh.
He was married at the time when he was dealing with Ashanti, but he said she didn't break it up. They were separated at the time.
The first 10
Well,
chicks
at least
I would
he-
end his marriage. She was not a homewrecker.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Ashanti to be that type.
And if you
Really
he actually had a reality TV show with his ex-wife about 12, 13, 14 years ago, and it was good. Like it was a good show. It showed him and their kids and the wife, and they were just at the point of the end of the relationship. And she was like, "Stop cheating and act right and come home." And he was like, "If I come home, I'm gonna keep fucking Ashanti." Well, he didn't say that, but he was like, "If I come home, I'm gonna do to you again what I did to you, and I will never do that to you." And she was like, "But now you're doing a new thing to me by not coming home." And he's like, "If I come home and cheat on you, like you deserve better than me, and I would be a piece of shit to even pretend." And she was like, "Well, don't pretend, change." And watching that dynamic over 2 seasons, where she's like, "Come the fuck home," and he's like, "I can't treat you right. I shouldn't. I don't deserve to come home." But seeing that dynamic, that was the range of emotions from him being like, "If I go home and cheat, I'm a hurt her. If I don't come home, I'm a hurt her. What the fuck?" And her like, "You hurt me when you cheated, and now you hurt me not coming home." And it was one of them shows that like it put at your heart because you're like, I feel both of them.
I feel both sides.
But it's just like I want women to understand that you cannot change a man. Like there's absolutely nothing you can do to change a man that does not want to change and that does not want to be that man for you. If and I feel like women have not accepted that, and that's why there's this competition of where you look at the next woman and now you're comparing, and it's like it doesn't matter what it is because half the time men cheat down. Now in that situation, I mean Ashanti,
He said something.
I don't know what I could say if a man came home and told me you cheated on me with Ashanti. Like, how was it?
Would you say, call her over? I want to talk about this.
No. I would just ask him like if I could meet her
in the bedroom. Have a meeting in the bedroom.
I'm talking over a brunch. Because like it's just
is that what you call it now? You call it brunch? Because I call it something different. But if you call it brunch, somebody gonna be eating.
Brunch.
You thought I was feeling you?
Whatever the kids are calling it these days.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna start calling women a brunch. You thought I was feeling you? You a brunch.
Hey.
Joe Biden was like, you thought I was feeling you? You a throat. Oh shit. Have you ever been a munch?
Nah, when I come up, I'm coming with me.
Wait, you don't eat them?
No, munch is someone that you call just to eat your pussy, and they cannot. You will not give them sex. You call them just for head.
That's a part of sex for me. So not. Yeah, but
I was calling my little boy a munch. I'm like, man, you a munch.
No.
That's why he was laughing because he's probably like, you don't even know what it really is.
Yeah, that means only.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I'm coming up.
No, as a man, I don't think. Well,
I had a few munches in my time.
Yeah, and I was about to say, I don't think men really do that, but that's a lie because I've heard women say that. Yeah. I've never been a munch, but I have.
I think that shit.
I've had
niggas do that, but
I've had munches.
That's when
I've had a lot of
shit don't work. If you go munch, that's because your shit don't work.
Well, no, they won't let you fuck. Is the prevailing thing? Like they call you to. I don't want to say. Well, she say the shit on the podcast. Mel used to call them head hoes. Niggas that she would call to get head, but she wouldn't fuck him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like his shit didn't work. She just ain't fucking him.
Yeah.
She called him because she wanted her pussy. What?
Because he munched and then there was no lunch after, and he cried. He was like, maybe out of like he was mad.
But did he really cry?
No, there were tears.
Wow, that's fucked up.
There were tears.
Why would he cry?
I mean, why would he cry?
See, that's why you gotta let them lick it before you stick it. They gotta suck it before you fuck it. It's always ladies first. Ladies first. I be goddamn. I go to because I know what I'm gonna do, and when I do what I do, and he be like, yeah, I'm like, no, I ain't gonna cry though. That's crazy.
That's
man.
crazy to cry.
I ain't gonna cry about. Damn. I've only had one person cry in a sex thing, and I was doing what I'm supposed to do. She was like, I don't know why I'm crying. I was like,
I do.
I know. That little spot right there. That's why you're crying because you know we're not gonna settle down. You're like, this is never gonna be mine.
And that's what.
But no, in all seriousness, she
Y'all,
was
I'm gonna
crying.
come back for part
happiness.
2 because I have so many topics that I want to talk to them about.
And the podcast is a little different now. So we do a Pod Named Kickback, which is what this is, the traditional pod. And then we do kickback conversations where we could do an episode just on financial advisement. You know what I'm saying? And then we have Kickback After Dark.
Oh.
Which
It's
is
after dark.
It's about fucking munching, floating, and dating.
Are you still watching?
Right. That's what we should call it. Are you still watching? And then we have Kickback Sports, where we specialize in sports.
I love it.
So we'll bring you back on for either the conversation or the After Dark.
I'm mad we didn't get to talk about sports. I was ready.
What you want to talk about sports? What you want to talk
You know, Westbrook's trash, Lakers trash.
we don't slander Russell Westbrook on this podcast. He gets slandered in too many places. But every show in America.
They killing Russ.
They killing him. But I will say this.
And I also just
I'm
want
glad
to
he's
talk
not on our
about,
team anymore.
Yeah, but I also want to talk. I want to talk about Tom Brady and how his future ex-wife
she
relieved that protection spell, and that's why that man has aged, and that's why he's going through what he's going through. Because she put a protection spell on him, and after that happened, isn't her name Giselle?
It is.
Yeah, she didn't relieve it, and that's why he looks 40 years older, like that.
Oh, Shane gonna eat that shit up because she.
And that is another reason why everything is going on the way that it's happening. Nah, she don't know about it.
That probably, I mean, there could be some truth to that.
Okay.
It's like when God removed the protection from Job. I don't know.
Somebody said what? Oh, that was Shannon.
She
Wait,
said,
what?
Because she but Tom Brady, the quarterbacks are getting old. Tom Brady has gotten old. Aaron Rodgers has gotten old. Did Sierra release her? Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers was dating Danica Patrick. Russell Wilson is married to Sierra. Did all of them get together and say we're gonna make our husbands retire with the spell?
Probably. They all went left.
She don't call me a witch. Well, a spiritual healer. I was like a Judas person. Like, don't call me a Jew.
I will be interested to see what
She's the good kind.
I will be interested to see what cards Shannon pulls for you, though.
Oh shit!
Wait, Shannon, can you do it for me too? What'd she say?
And oftentimes don't recover face on them by their partner.
Exactly. Ooh, I'm gonna hit up Shannon. Shannon, we gonna talk after this. I want some cards.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what cards she pulls.
Now I'm calling Shannon. I'm calling Shannon right after this. You got her number, Shannon. We calling you right after this.
See, Shannon been on the podcast. She was on last week.
Aw.
So yeah, we'll make that happen. I'm waiting to see if she got something to add real quick before we close, because she probably like, yeah, you know, there's something, and then the olive oil vinegar.
I'm a healer. I know.
Oh, I know that's right. So we can't call her to channel. We'll talk about it.
We'll figure it out. I can read your cards. Matter of fact, hold up.
Do not play with me.
See all these black people here? So this is you.
A queen. I know that's right.
I see you rewatching the photograph.
We sure will.
And I lost it. But
he pulled the queen. He pulled the queen. The queen of hearts.
She's yelling at me. Stop playing. I'm done. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another episode.
I felt that shit, though.
See?
I be honest, it was like it was electric.
Boogie.
Shit, that shit is like crazy though.
But I have had the ability to see into people. I'll talk about that later. But I know this one girl that was cool with, and I was like, I was doing all my energy, all my channeling. No. Now I'm being serious. I was reading a book called The Medunete, which is the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is the Book of Life. This is ancient. This is where the Ankh comes from. That's why I always got Ankhs and shit on, because that's a nod to that.
Yeah.
And my name knew. I was looking through the book, like, give me a sign. I think I'm tripping, talking to myself. If this shit I'm reading is really real, send me a sign. And it was like, turn to page 80. And I was like, all right. And I opened it up, and 80 was a whole chapter about in you, about new, and what new was. And new is the deepest level of consciousness you can get to before you fall asleep. And I was like, and now I'm scared. Like, I said, give me a sign, and you gave me one, I'm out. That was too much for me. But I read, or I held hands with different women and was telling them whatever came to my mind to see if I really had it. And I was like, I feel like when you were young, this happened and this. And the chick started crying and was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, I was reading this book. And I was like, all right, I'm scared again. That's what I always do. I always get scared. Like, when I get too spiritual, too deep, I'm like, all right, I'm out, dog. I'm out. Seeing spirits and shit, I'm like, all right, I'm good. Yeah, I'd be scared to see my mother. I'd be telling my mother, like, hey, Mom, don't, you can't appear to me. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose it. Don't appear to me. I'm not the one you can appear to. Talk to me in my dream.
Mine is more so intuitive and discerning. And yeah, I have dreams. So I don't necessarily see things, but I will dream. I guess they say like visions. I don't know. But yeah.
I can, I have a thought, and then one day the thought will happen. But it don't be like a pressing thought, like, oh my God, I'm thinking about this thing. It'll be like, I want some funnel cake. And then, you know what, never mind. Just don't give me no mic, all right? Don't give me no mic, man.
That's too
Appreciate
funny.
y'all coming out.
Coming out. We appreciate you for watching.
Yeah, for watching.
All of that.
Yeah, man. And
thank you guys for coming out.
And I'm gonna leave you, and yeah, because if you come out, then she might not get pregnant. But anyway, I just want to leave you with this one thought about being your best self and doing, what you need to do and how you should present it.
I believe in conspicuous consumption. Really? If you have it, flaunt it. Really?
Oh no, we out.
We out.
Bye.
You tell me turn my mic on. I'm gonna turn my mic